Good morning, and hey now, PASW clients, staff, and friends joining us. Welcome to Thursday's class. We've had a great week so far. We looked at the iconic film Rocky and the film scoring assignment, your film scoring assignment, which we're going to look at the results tomorrow on Friday, see what you guys came up with. And Tuesday, we went to Cherbourg, France, and looked at the 1964 French opera musical, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, which was a delightful time, at least for me, and hopefully for some of you. Then we went back to LA and looked at the gorgeous Coconut Grove. Now, from LA, we're going to go to Chicago. Well, actually, he was born in Mississippi, but he grew up in Chicago. And this guy changed music and was considered the godfather of soul music, and bridged pop and soul music together, and was one of the first artists to entertain black and white audiences in the 1950s. Today we're going to be talking about the massive talent of Sam Cooke.
Darling, you send me, I know you send me, darling, you send me, honest you do, honest you do, honest you do. Whoa.
Not only did Sam Cooke have a great, beautiful voice, he was a brilliant businessman and activist, and was one of the first. I mean, this is the 50s, the late 50s, where he was before a lot of this activism became part of the norm. So it was a true pioneer in for black rights. So, but also was a great songwriter and singer. So it's going to be fun. He's one of the first modern black performers to get into the business side of music. For years, black musicians, they weren't paid for the sessions, or they didn't own their songs. I mean, they were taken advantage of for the most part. And he's one of the first to kind of step up and say, no, this is my music. I'm going to own it. So his contributions, led to Aretha Franklin, Al Green, Stevie Wonder, Otis Redding, and James Brown. He was all before them, and really was led this path with this incredible natural singing. Smooth voice we're talking about, and his delivery of these is just so beautiful. So we're going to be looking at his life and his singing. So as I said, he's born in Mississippi, but moves to Chicago very early. One of 8 children, and his dad's a minister. And he adds the E at the end in 1957 later on. So didn't usually have that, but that was kind of to show a new turning point in his life. So if we think of 1931, we can look at, what's going on in the world. What is America? What does the world look like in 1931? Okay, the Empire State Building is built and opens, and it's the tallest building in the world. Great example of Art Deco, and we looked at some Art Deco in Los Angeles. So that's completed, 102 stories. Star Spangled Banner becomes the official national anthem of our country. And Nevada says, okay, gambling's legal now, so you can come and have fun and play all you want. And so these things are big. Okay, so World War II is going on here, but America comes up. We build the tallest building in the world. We have Star Spangled Banner as our anthem, so there's patriotism going on, right? And then with Nevada and gambling, we also have this patriotism, but we are inviting organized crime into Las Vegas, which is going to, pose some problems, of course. These were times in the country that, it seems like every year we go to, obviously. It just shows you how much stuff is happening at the same time. Every year there's stuff going on and progress. And not necessarily progress for the good always, but just change. So Sam Cooke's born in this year, and he starts off as a gospel singer in the church, and his parents were very strict on him. and didn't allow dancing or any of that stuff. Right after high school, he gets this opportunity in 1948 to sing with with the Soul Stirrers, which is this very famous group. But he reaches the top of the gospel world, and in the Midwest and the South, and people know him, but he's not breaking out internationally yet, or even nationally, because there's only so much you can do with gospel music. So he takes a real chance. What he does is he is one of the first to master gospel music and say, now I'm going to take it into the secular world, the non-religious world. And that was really taboo. I mean, you have church music, and then you have secular music, and the church people don't like that, and probably vice versa. And he's going to use his gospel music and say, no, I'm going to use this influence, these elements of gospel music, and I'm going to become a superstar.
Don't know much about history, don't know much biology, don't know much about a science book, don't know much about the French I took, but I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be.
If we listen to his voice, I mean, it's so smooth, it's sensual, but there's some spirituality too with this, and it's not necessarily godlike. It could be. It's love. It's this, but it's this bridging of this soul gospel music into popular music. He was kind of along with Nat King Cole. They were both kind of at the same time. Nat King Cole was more jazz, and Sam Cooke, but they both have that smooth voice and that real touch, that sensual, spiritual touch. But Sam Cooke kind of goes more into the popular. So by 1960, he's the first black artist to sign with RCA Records, and he writes songs, huge #1 songs: The Chain Gang, Twisting the Night Away, Bring It On Home to Me, Having a Party, Cupid, and of course the song that made him an overnight success, You Send Me. We're going to look at You Send Me after we kind of go through his life, but that's 1957, and that's really what pushes him into international fame and stardom. It's one of my favorite all-time songs of all time. So as Sam Cooke is really thriving as an artist, as a young man, he's befriending people that are taking a role of activism and civil rights movement. And like I mentioned, this was before everyone kind of jumped on the bandwagon, the whites and the hippies and the people in the late 60s. This is way before. This is early 60s. So he's interacting with Muhammad Ali, and they become really good friends and do a record together. And also the controversial provocateur, Malcolm X. The three of these guys, along with some other people, are really creating a stir with people, and a stir with that needed to be addressed and resolved. And Sam Cooke starts refusing some of these concerts where people are segregated, and activists say that is one of the first that ushers in some of the first civil rights movements that's about to happen, and he's one of the first to do this. But unfortunately, his life is cut short. In 1964, he's shot by a motel owner, and he's 33, so he's really young, and there's controversy and concern about what happened exactly. The consensus is that he brought a woman, probably a woman of the night, to a motel on Figueroa, like 92nd and Figueroa right now, where the building was. And, they kind of have some drinks and fool around. And when he goes into the restroom, she takes all of his clothes and runs out of the motel. So probably like a scam, because he picks her up in a club in Hollywood. And he comes out and he doesn't have his clothes, and he goes and bangs on the motel owner's door, and she thinks that here's this crazy black man, drunk maybe. So she shoots him and kills him, and she got away with it because she said it was self-defense. But everyone that knew him kind of said that he wasn't a violent person. He wasn't that kind of person. So there's controversy and some conspiracy of why he was taken out. And there's two reasons. One is that Alan Klein, his manager, he didn't want him to have all the publishing rights and all the money, and that he hired a hit, which it probably didn't happen. And another one is that he was becoming too important and big in the Black civil rights movement, and as we know, in the 60s at least, Black people could be killed for that. I mean, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they were assassinated. So who knows what's going on, or who knows what happened with Sam Cooke's death, but there's definitely some holes in it, and it's still kind of unsolved in a sense. And so this is 1964, and we looked at, that's when Umbrellas of Cherbourg came out. But also, what else happened in 1964? We just talked about Lyndon Johnson signs the civil rights movement. So as the same year that Sam Cooke passes away, unfortunately, there is small progress being made. But of course, like most artists and activists and people that try to make the world better, it's really unfortunate they don't get to do that or see their contributions. So my favorite song, one of them of all time, is "You Send Me," and this is 1957. He writes this song and records it in Hollywood.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Darling, you send me. Honest you, honest you, honest you.
That previous summer, he's living in his producer's apartment, and but after this comes out, he becomes this secular superstar. It's not this church-going gospel singer guy anymore. He's taking that, and you can just hear how beautiful his voice sounds on this. So that's a beautiful sound and voice of the great artist, humanitarian singer, songwriter, composer, Sam Cooke. Hope you enjoyed it. I love his music. I particularly love his ballads, kind of his slower moving songs, because his voice just resonates so beautifully, and just a massive talent, and was taken away too soon for all of us. Okay, love you guys, miss you guys. Tomorrow's Friday film scoring results, so can't wait for that. Okay, have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Oh, and more than well, I wish you love.